sitting out here filming and a bird freaking poops on my shirt. Look at that. It's freaking gross.
Look at that house. Look at that house right there. I think I may just go burn that house down.
So, whenever I was 5 years old, I remember I would always go over to my grandparents' house and I would ask my grandfather, hey, can we go on an adventure? What this meant was that we were gonna go to the local trails that we have like near our house, and we were just gonna walk around on those trails. We called this going on an adventure. It was literally just kind of exposing me to something I'd never seen before, because I'd pretty much only seen just like kind of the things around my house, the things in my backyard, the trees, just the random stuff that I'd kind of gotten used to. Whenever I was 5 and I went to these trails, I felt like these trails were something that was kind of like sacred. I remember looking around and being awestruck by just the trees and the random things that were just, and it was just so close to my house. The fact that this thing even existed within a 5-minute drive was crazy. Like, I didn't know anything else. And I remember a year later, my grandfather said, hey, I got to go out to California for like a business trip, so we're gonna take a road trip, we're gonna go out west, and I'm gonna show you as much stuff as we possibly can. So I said, heck yeah, let's do that. And so we took a trip from Mississippi, drove all the way to California, and along the way we made tons of stops. We saw some crazy things. I remember the Grand Canyon, I saw the Hollywood sign for the first time, Painted Desert. There was tons of crazy things that I saw. We went to Amarillo. I don't even remember what was in Amarillo. I don't remember these things distinctly, but I do remember whenever I look back at the pictures, I remember these moments. And then 8th grade year, my grandfather, he said, hey, you wanna go on a trip out west again? He said, you can bring a friend. So me and my friend Zach, we went out west and we turned it into a photography trip. We took pictures of the stars, went to Monument Valley, Zion National Park, Antelope Canyon, the Grand Canyon. We went everywhere and we took pictures of all sorts of crazy things. And it was one of the best trips I've ever had in my entire life. The next year we went on a similar trip. It was just me and my grandfather this time. And we left and we flew into Vegas, and then from Vegas we drove all the way up the coast. Like, we just went Washington, Oregon, California, and it was just, and then back down through the mountains in the west. It was a crazy trip again. But through all of these trips, I remember feeling a sense of adventure. And I know this sense of adventure was ignited initially whenever I went out to those trails with my grandfather, whenever I was 5. But after that, I could feel it reignited in all of these other trips that we took together. And with that, I want to reclaim that. I've kind of been stagnant, just kind of going through the motions of life and not really been able to find anything that's super exciting around my house or around my city. I feel like I've been confined to some restraints, and I kind of want to break those restraints this year. I want to try some new things. I want to go out and go to new places, experience new things. This is like a yes theory video or something. But yeah, I think my goal for this year is going to kind of be to reignite that adventure. I don't exactly know how I'm going to execute this because there's not a whole lot to do around here. There's not very many exciting things. Already a month and like 10 days into this year, so I've kind of failed up to this point, I'm not gonna lie. But I just want to be able to find more adventurous things to do. It's been in the past like month or so, I've been kind of just settling into college and trying to figure out my classes and things. So now I think I can start. I think I can start really trying to reclaim this adventure, and that's gonna be the goal for the next year, honestly. The goal in making this video is so that I don't give up on these adventurous things. I don't make excuses on why not to go out and do these things. I hope I can convince myself that by making this video and putting it out there that I can look back on it and be like, oh shoot, I gotta be adventurous, I gotta freaking do this. Because I remember how good it made me feel. I remember the emotions surrounding it, the awe that I had in God's creation and everything. It was so amazing. And even at 5 years old, I could feel that. And it was, oh my goodness. I can just think back on it. It's crazy. The emotions were insane. And I want to be able to experience some of those things. And I don't think I have to travel all the way across the country to experience those things, or across the world to experience those things. But I do think that I have to search for them in the community that I live in the place that I live in, and find them here first, and then branch out in a similar way to how I found the trails before I went on the big trip to California. It was like that initial realization that there's more out there, and then the further realization that there's a lot more out there. And so, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please drop a like, subscribe. That's all I gotta say. Appreciate you guys watching. Love what you live, live what you love. See you next time.